So this 911 is starting to get pretty old now, and things start to feel a little less tight. The more miles you put on it and the older it gets, the looser it will feel. Basically like a woman. So in today's video we're going to rejuvenate the 911 a bit with the help of my friends over at Show Off Imports. They were kind enough to sponsor the channel with chassis rigidity upgrades made by Ultra Racing. These parts, all the way from Malaysia, will tighten up the Porsche again, making it feel stiffer. Yeah, stiffer. We're also going to install steel braided brake lines, new gas struts, and new motor mounts. All to get this high mileage Porsche feel like a young little girl again. No. FBI, open up! Anyways, let's get this puppy back and let's get started. So there we are. How high mileage are we talking actually? This high mileage. So this one is coming your way. Congrats, well done. So let's start with something quick and simple. The front gas struts. As you can see, these are a bit tired, and this can even lead to dangerous situations. So let's quickly pop these off and install the new ones. So while supporting the hood, we're gonna pop one off, throw this away, clean up the ball joints, and pop back on the pre-lubed new one. Now quickly this side, and job done. So before, and after. Yeah. Now let's repeat the process on the rear, and yes, that has to go. Yeah, no good. Oh, yeah. That's not falling down anymore. So this is not... All right, I got him. Oh, that's better. All right, job done. All right, so next up we're going to replace the engine mounts. The engine produces a little vibration at around 1800 RPM. So I suspect that the engine mounts have never been changed before. So I bought these engine mounts from Lemforder. So the engine mount is placed like so, and there's a bolt up here that connects it to the subframe. So we're first going to support the engine, undo the engine mount from below, then from above, and then we're going to tighten everything up again. So let's do this! Alright, so with this piece of professional equipment, we're going to support the engine. God would. Okay. Let's center at this, like so. Yeah. Okay. That's going nowhere, just like this channel. So with an 18 and a swivel socket, we're going to undo the bolt. Ooh. There we go. All right. There we have the bolt. If it's ghetto and it works, it ain't ghetto. All right, so now we're gonna undo the motor mount from the top. There we go. There we go. Here, as you can see, these were the original ones. It says 04 there, that means 2004, which is not the build date of the car, but it's the build date of this engine mount. Compare that to the new one, and this is a 24. And you see the square space? That's where this part has to slide in perpendicular. So these engine mounts were on their way out. This is quite loose. Let's compare this to the new one. Yeah, these are way sturdier. All right, so now we're gonna get this bad boy installed, making sure that this square lines up with that square over there. That's it. It's now slotted in. Good. So I've cleaned up these bolts a bit, and now we're gonna apply some blue Loctite. Just a smidge at the end. And the other one. Then we're gonna torque them to spec. There we go. And then we're gonna bolt it back down from below. And finally torque this to spec as well. All right, so now off camera, I'm gonna do the other one. All right, so the next job is fairly quick and simple. We're going to replace the cabin air filter. It says CUK. So the cabin air filter is located over here. So let's quickly remove these panels. So the cabin air filter is located over here, but we're first going to give this a quick vacuum. All right, so now we're going to remove 4 T30s. There we go. Then there's a clip over here. And now we should be able to pop this out. Huh? What's this? How the hell did that get up there? Wow. I mean, that's pretty insane though. All right, well, there you go, the old one out. As you can see, this one's pretty dirty, so good that we're replacing it. New, fresh one going in. Airflow is gonna point down. Okay, well, that's a tight squeeze, but it's in. Clip on. Clean the bracket back in. Panels back on. And job done. All right, and now for some more exciting stuff. So these braces made by Ultra Racing will provide for better chassis rigidity, improving the handling of the car. Both these are for the rear of the car. So let's quickly remove the underbody panels and get started. Oh yeah, that's bad. Yeah, that's not supposed to come off. My friends over at Powerflex will probably hook me up with these. Loads of spider webs. It's been a while that somebody's been in here. Looks pretty good. However, this is pretty bad. Now finally this one. And now we have access for these braces. All right, so we're gonna start out by removing this underbody brace. There we go. There we have it. Yep, and there we go. There's another 15 up here. Yeah, there we go. That's one brace removed. Yep. And then finally, this brace. All right, assembly time. Oh, this is gonna look so cool. There we go. Now we're gonna install the other one. All right, so now we would need to remove this subframe bolt. Yep. All right, well, that didn't really go according to plan. Let's see if I have better luck with this one. Okay, good. Off camera, I'm gonna go ahead and separate these two and I'll be right back. All right, so this one is back in. I think, however, that this part is too large to fit in there. So I'm first gonna remove this panel to see if this fits while still having this panel. Unfortunately, this thing is rusted in here so bad that it broke one of my Torx bits, which is now still in the screw. Okay, am I able to get this out now? All right. There we go, finally. Here, look at this. Ooh. Wow. Weight savings, baby. Anyway, let's see how we will be able to fit this. All right, I'm also gonna remove this one. I'm gonna do that off camera. All right, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When I took this piece of trim off, I had my doubts about the fitment of the rigidity upgrades. So as you can see, off camera I installed the chassis rigidity upgrades. I wanted to test fit this off camera to see if all the underbody panels would still fit. Unfortunately, however, that was not the case. After informing with Show Off Imports, they told me to cut one of these panels so that it would clear this part of the bar. Afterwards, I found out that the underbody panel sitting right over there was not flush with the car anymore because of these two little bars. And finally, you're simply not able to put on the underbody panel that sits right over here, as you remove the mounting points of the underbody panel because you removed the original braces. So the alternative would be driving without underbody panels, as I don't like the idea of driving without underbody panels, exposing the coolant tubes, the shifter cables, and oil lines. So I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I just cannot live with not driving with underbody panels, let alone cutting original parts. So I'm just gonna be transparent with y'all and gonna take this all off again and not use it. We wouldn't be improving the car whilst keeping it looking OEM. I do have one more thing though. Earlier in the video you saw one of these rubber parts falling out. Due to old age, they were completely perished. So my friends over at Powerflex were kind enough to send over one of these, so that I can get this transmission mounting sorted again. So while we're in here, we're going to quickly install these bad boys and see how they change the feel of the car. And then install the brand new brake lines. All right, so we're... Oh, don't. All right, so we're first going to remove these 4 bolts. Next up, we're gonna loosen these. Yep, there we go. Yep. 1. Before we get into bolt number 2, we're first going to support the gearbox, like so. There we go, number 2. Now this one. 2. So now, ooh, that's quite crusty. I'll address that later. I won't. No. Oh. Yeah, that's the rubber perished part that we're going to replace. As you can see, that's super brittle. Okay, we can't really remove it, but we're just gonna put it to the side. I think we'll be able to squeeze the bushing in here. All right, so bushing going in. As you can see, it's kind of egg-shaped.
Is it true, sir, that you have what's been described as an egg-shaped penis?
So these sticking out parts fit exactly in the holes of the transmission bushing. Here, and as you can see, there are still no cracks in the transmission mount itself, so that's good. Also here you can see the shape of the holes in which the bushing will slide. All right, so this side would need to be facing that way. Also, we're going to use some Powerflex assembly grease. Oh, that's hot. And now we're going to try and wiggle it in. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, so it's a bit of a squeeze, but I managed to get it in. That's what she said. And now off camera, I'm gonna do the other side. Alright, and that's the transmission bushing installed. I'm going to go ahead and remove the rigidity braces and reinstall the underbody panels. And then we're going to continue with the steel braided brake lines. Alright, so the underside of the car is all buttoned up again. So Show Off Imports was also kind enough to sponsor me with some steel braided brake lines. So we're going to quickly remove the wheels and install these bad boys. Alright, brake line. Alright, so here's our shiny new brake line. You've seen me do brake lines many times before, so let's make this quick. So this one over here is an 11. Yep, there we go. And this one is a 10. Now for the install of the new one. It slots right in. And now the other side. And that's the install done. We of course also did the ones in the rear. And now I'm going to bleed the brakes off camera with some fresh brake fluid. So now we're going to torque the wheels to spec. Alright, and that's everything back together again, and take it for a drive. Alright, so I've been driving around for a while now, and I must say the car feels a bit tighter. The engine feels a bit more planted, and the transmission feels a lot more mounted in the chassis of the car, if that makes sense. It's good. It's good. Also, the brakes feel a lot better now, very responsive and provide for a good feel. So although it didn't work out with the chassis rigidity upgrades, I want to massively thank Show Off Imports for sponsoring the video. I must say their customer service was top notch, quick and considerate, so thanks for that. Also shout out to Powerflex, longtime sponsor of the channel, much appreciated. I'll put everyone's information in the description below as well as the part numbers. So we recently surpassed 4,000 subscribers, which is crazy, much appreciated to y'all. It's not yet a million. If you want to see me get there, please consider subscribing if you like what you see. I've got lots of plans for the 911, so stick around for that. For now, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time! Ooh, did you hear that? Ooh, and an M2 here as well, look. M2. Legend. We're also going to Stem, jongen, wat de er mee aan de hand? The more miles you put on it and the older it gets. Oh, Ferrari incoming. Ferrari incoming. Nice. Ow. Jezus, mijn oren.